Okay, so phishing, everyone's favorite topic, right? But we found this case study, and honestly, it's kind of wild. It's like the attacker, like, aced phishing 101, but then totally spaced on renewing their web domain.
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable, right? Like what we're seeing here, it's like they took, those tactics, the really sneaky ones, the ones you'd usually see aimed at like CEOs and big companies, and they're using them on everyone now.
So like no more playing it safe, just going straight for the big leagues, huh?
Pretty much. It's like they're not just casting a wide net anymore. They're like crafting personalized lures for, me, everyone, which means we all got to be way more careful.
Okay, so walk me through this. How does this attack even work?
So picture this. You're scrolling through your inbox, right? And bam, there's an email. Looks official, maybe from like your own company talking about some new guidelines or whatever.
Okay, it sounds pretty standard. I mean, I get those kind of emails all the time.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole thing so sneaky. They use this thing called, let me get this right, ghost spoofing, which basically it's like it tricks your email system into thinking the sender is legit, someone you trust. It's not just faking the from name, it's like mimicking the entire domain.
Well, hold on. So even if I check the sender's address, it would still look legit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're, not like super focused on it. In this case, they actually used a marketing company setup. So it just sailed right past those basic spam filters. They even registered a domain in Indonesia, hoping people would think .ie stood for identifier, like some internal company going.
Wow. Sneaky. Okay, so they've got the looks down. But I'm guessing it doesn't stop there. What happens when you open the email?
Okay, so this is where it gets, even weirder. Instead of regular text, the whole email is basically images. Your name, the message, everything, all like embedded in images.
Okay, now that's just, why go through all that trouble? Seems like it would just scream phishing, right?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But see, that's the thing. It actually makes it harder for like security software to flag it. It slips right past those text-based filters. Plus, to make it even more convincing, they didn't actually include a link, like most phishing emails do. They went with a PDF attachment instead.
Okay, I'll bite. Why a PDF?
Well, think about it. Websites, they can get blacklisted pretty easily, right? But a PDF, it just feels more, official. People are more likely to open it without thinking twice. But what's inside this particular PDF? Well, let's just say that's where things get really interesting.
So, okay, I gotta ask, what's in the PDF? Is it like, a fake memo or something?
Oh, it's way more creative than that. Get this, it's a QR code.
Wait, seriously, a QR code? Like they want me to scan something?
Yep, you got it. Scan this QR code, it says.
Okay, hold on. So let me get this straight. I get this like official looking email, right? I open the attachment and instead of, whatever they're phishing for, it's a QR code.
You see the problem here, right?
Yeah, just a little. It's like, who has time for that? I'm busy. I have actual work to do. I can't just be scanning random QR codes all day.
Exactly. It's like phishing for people with way too much time on their hands. And even then, like, imagine you're at work, right, on your company computer. You're really gonna risk scanning a random QR code. Most places, they're pretty strict about that kind of thing.
Yeah, for good reason. Okay, but I still don't get it. Why even bother with the QR code? Why not just link directly to the phishing site?
Well, they did link to a site. It's just, a bit more roundabout. See, with a QR code, people, they tend to lower their guard a bit. They don't think about, checking the URL or anything. Plus, QR codes, they're a bit trickier for security researchers to track.
So it's like a digital disguise, basically.
Exactly. They're trying to stay one step ahead.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So did it work? Did this super secret QR code actually lead to a super convincing phishing site?
So this is where the whole master plan kind of falls apart. Remember how we were talking about Cloudflare?
Yeah, it's like, what'd you call it? A cloaking device for websites, right?
Exactly. Companies use it to, make their websites faster, more secure, that kind of thing. But lately, a lot of bad guys have been using it to, cover their tracks. Makes it harder to tell if a site's legit or not.
Right. So what happened? Did they mess up the Cloudflare setup or something?
It seems like a much simpler mistake, actually. They forgot to pay their hosting bill.
Right, you're kidding, right? They went through all that trouble, all that planning, and then their own website crashed.
You can't make this stuff up, can you? We tried to access the site, the one from the QR code, and all we got was, an error message. It's kind of poetic when you think about it.
It's like they tripped on the finish line after running the whole race.
Exactly. And as funny as it seems, it actually tells us a lot about, where phishing is headed.
Okay, how so?
Well, on the one hand, it's kind of reassuring. You know, even these like super complex attacks, they can still fall apart.
So even the bad guys mess up sometimes.
Exactly. And that little oversight, that one mistake, it can be all it takes to, stop them in their tracks.
Okay, that is good news. But you said it's a mixed bag. What's the bad news?
The bad news is this whole thing, it's like a sneak peek into the future of phishing. They might not have all the kinks worked out yet, but they're trying. And that means we got to be ready.
So it's not just going to be like misspelled emails and shady links anymore.
Nope. It's going to get a lot more, sophisticated.
Okay, that's kind of unsettling. So what can we do? How do we protect ourselves, especially with things like QR codes becoming so common?
Well, technology is a big part of it. Companies, they got to step up their email security game, got to have systems in place that can actually catch these sneakier tactics.
Right, like having a digital bodyguard for our inboxes.
Exactly. But technology, it's only part of the solution. We got to be smarter too. And that's where awareness training comes in.
So we got to learn the enemy's tactics, basically.
Pretty much. Everyone needs to know what to look for. Those little red flags.
Don't click on anything suspicious, even if it looks official. That kind of thing.
Exactly. And if something feels off, report it. Better safe than sorry, right?
Absolutely. This whole thing really makes you think. I mean, I scan QR codes all the time, like without even thinking, for restaurant menus, Wi-Fi passwords, you name it.
It's become second nature. And the bad guys, well, they know that.
So what can we do? It feels like we're always playing catch up.
The best defense is knowledge. Stay informed about, the latest phishing trends. Be careful about what you click on, what you scan, and never, ever be afraid to, question anything that seems even a little bit off.
Great advice. Well, folks, there you have it, a deep dive into the increasingly wild world of phishing. Remember, even though the bad guys are getting sneakier, we can stay ahead of the game, stay informed, stay vigilant, and maybe, just maybe, think twice before scanning that next QR code. Until next time, stay safe out there.